Welcome to Kindred Spirits, the podcast that brings you unfiltered conversations about life, work, and everything in between.
Join us as we share stories, spark connections, and celebrate the magic that happens when kindred spirits unite.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Maddie.
Hi.
Good. I'm so happy we're doing this. I just really have missed our conversations because we haven't been one-on-one in a while.
No, yeah, you've been in Calgary, all over the place. Yeah, it's good.
And when I was thinking about our last couple of weeks, it's been a crazy couple, with all our guests and stuff. And then I was looking back at our archives. We haven't even had a chat to talk about what's been going on with us,
Yeah.
And Kindred kind of just took off after a while.
Yeah, it's been crazy. What was it early October that we actually first started this? When we went to brunch and sat down and unveiled this entire plan.
When we had our hinge date. Just to let everyone know, I always like to tell this story. People are so funny how we met. Actually, they're like, what do you mean you met her on the internet? I'm like, oh, no, it was like an online dating service on.
We met online and it's been 2 months. Things are going well.
Exactly. I think it's pretty serious.
It's getting serious. There's some contracts going around.
No, it's not the thing. I think people forget how funny it is. We always talk about authenticity and our news, and we're always trying to get people in front of us and stuff. But I think that's how it's crazy. I wouldn't say it's simple, but that's how when you put yourself out there, that's how simple it can be if you're vulnerable.
Yeah. And I think that's been my biggest learning with you, but also with all of the amazing guests that we've reached out to, how open people are to coming on and sharing their stories and connecting with us. And all it takes is a reach out, that's so cool.
And a helping hand, I was reflecting, and listeners, just let you know, Maddie and I went to, oh my gosh, Maddie, what is it? I always never forget. What's it? We went to
Be Magnetic.
Yes.
The tour in Vancouver.
Oh my God. This is not an ad, but shout out to those ladies. Oh my gosh. That was a vibe. Exhausting, but a vibe.
Yes. Emotionally exhausting training in a good way.
Yes. But I was looking back at our 3 weeks and how much time has passed, but also, we were always thinking about, I think when I can only speak for myself and a little bit from what you shared with me in the past, and I'll let you tell your story, but I've tried to do this so many times. And if people didn't know that, I started Raw Talk, which was, I can't even listen to it. It makes me so awkward, but it started somewhere. Oh my gosh. I was doing it in Barbados off my phone, and there was monkeys and beetles in the bag, and just the most random organic way to do it. But it was just it's so much better having a partner by my side, because it's it's just Kindred's been so beautiful for me personally.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've had so many projects in my life, so many different creative projects. My partner makes fun of me for it because I always start something and I get so excited about it and it ends up just kind of dropping off. But having a partner is so different because we actually can hold each other accountable. We can feed off each other's energy too. If I'm starting to lose steam on something, you come in and hype me up, and that is so good. It's so good for me. I'm just loving it.
Yeah. And that's why it was funny. I was kind of looking back, but I also kind of felt a little bit compelled to be vulnerable right now and be okay, 3 cringiest moments. Because I also want, it's funny, I think a lot of people are in our shoes where they have this idea, they're so keen on it, and then you have this crazy roadblock, so many doubts come to your head, people are gonna make fun of me, I'm not good enough, I am awkward, I'm always if you didn't know this about me, I definitely I'm very impulsive. So I'll just do it, not think about it. But then I'll sleep 2 weeks later. I'll wake up in the middle of the night being that was so awkward.
I actually love that about you. I really, really like that about you because you just take action and get shit done.
And it bites me in the butt, but that's why I think everyone listening, like, this is why you need a partner like Maddie, because she's like also with you ride or die, but also you're like, okay, well, let's just like dot the I's and cross the T's first.
Yeah, it's like the perfect amount of like oppositeness. Like if it was me on my own, I'd just be like sitting there editing the podcast for like weeks, like not letting it see the light of day until it's absolutely perfect in every way. And you'd just be like, oh, it doesn't need editing. I'll just put it straight out.
Oh my gosh. It's seriously, I still get made fun of. I was super into when I first started, again, like back to, and I'm just telling these stories to anyone that's listening, because like, I really also, when we went to that amazing seminar, they always said like, the image on social media is so much not what it is the truth. You know, it's vulnerable putting yourself out there photo wise, but I always tell this story because everyone still makes fun of me. However, that was when I started, again, back to when it all started for me. I did a post and I literally had people, I was in Barbados, I had Bayesian men, and Bayesian's what we call kind of that's what they called them, screaming in the background. And I publicly posted it and it went viral. And literally me being like, live your life free. And the guy's like, coconut water in the back.
It's amazing.
Viral. But the point was because it was authentic. And that's what I love about us. Like, what you see is what you get kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Okay. I like your idea. Cringy moments.
I have to bring up one because you know what? This episode, I want to reach people that are in the mix. Maddie and I have been doing this for 4 weeks. We are getting steam, but let me tell you, I want us to both be vulnerable. Like, it hasn't been easy. It's getting easier, but it's very, very intimidating. Not intimidating. I don't even know the word. You tell your cringy moments.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's hard to think of some, but this is maybe not so cringy, but just like the real raw talk, as you would say. But I feel like, okay, so after we went for brunch and then we were like chatting all week or whatever, we were like, coming up with ideas and like, okay, we're going to do this, like getting really into it. And then we met like the next weekend or something. I can't remember, when I came up to North Van and we sat down. I felt like we were both kind of like, hi. Like we're both kind of like, hey, we don't really know each other, but like, okay, yeah, like we're doing this, right? Like we're doing this, right? And then that whole conversation, we're kind of like, we don't know what we're doing. Like, we're just like so lost. Yeah, I feel like we were both kind of like looking at each other like, do you still want this? Like, are you still into this? Like, is this gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? Like, I feel like there was a lot of doubts for both of us, and we were just sitting there like in person with this like stranger being like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, all right, see you soon. I don't know, like, does that make sense? It was just it was a weird meeting. You think?
Oh, for sure. It was like a second date. It was kind of like, I kind of like you and you like me, like, and I think the thing is, so this is why it's nice to have a partner, because I believe that was a roadblock for both of us, because we get this idea and then it was almost like a shell shock, like, oh, is this too good to be true? Like, are you actually not going to bail on me? Like, my baby MJ abandonment issues and like Addie's, I try to, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird because it was like things were starting to happen and we held it like, yeah, no, that was definitely cringy. I think it wasn't cringy. I'm going to get the cringy thing, but I'm proud of us for keep going, you know? Obviously, it's never going to be, it's like we're new coworkers to each other.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's not a boss that's like, this is Maddie. This is like shit. I think the thing for me right now, for when it comes to not cringy, like just like, oh my God, things are moving, and 3 weeks is like 4 weeks. You're like, okay, like we're getting momentum, and I think, I am. The last 3 weeks have just been more of a mental thing for me. Like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. Like, but I've noticed such a change, but like us supporting each other and like talking about awkward things that maybe are really uncomfortable, like workload, the skills, like what's more, like, I think the thing I believe a lot of when people get excited about something, they get a high and then the high goes down because maybe they have doubt, but we're prioritizing this. And then we're talking early stages of the conversation I think a lot of people don't want to have.
Yeah.
What our strengths are, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it all comes down to the vision and the values that we have behind this. And because we're so aligned with that, like it's funny because we're so different. Like we always talk about that. We have such different like strengths and our personalities are so different, but like our values and like our vision and our drive behind this is the same, and that's why it's working. And like both like fully bought in, and also like it's just fun too. Like we're both like creative people that want to do fun stuff. So
totally. And I think and I love that. And we've been like, I think we both have been into so many seminars and so much thing, and really created the past. But when it comes down to actually going through what we're doing and doing this, and anyone that's listening, I really want to let find a part of it has the same values, just like Amani said, because at the end of the day, you have to go to bed and feel good about what you're doing. And I know that sounds so lame because there's so much pressure to make money and this, but like I don't know, the values and the core reality of feeling good what you do every day is something that I think that's why we're getting momentum and keep going.
Mm-hmm. I agree. What has been like your biggest takeaway or like your biggest learning from the past month?
I think for me is, not being scared to, this just sounds so crazy. So I think it's just being open and learning and like not being scared. It's a really vulnerable thing when you start on your own because you just don't know. You think you know what you're doing, but every day you're like, I got this. And then you're like, never mind. And luckily we have somebody in our corner that has been our saving grace a little bit for like, I think we're lucky that way. But for me,
shout out Dave.
Shout out. Grip advertising. I think for me, it's been really cool to let my guard down because, a little bit about, I've tried this so many times with partners and not partners and myself. And it is a very vulnerable thing, but like my trust for you and what we're doing has grown so much. So I've let my guard down and just been like committed to myself and committed to you, my kindred girlfriend. I don't know what you are, but we definitely got a relationship. And I think it's just like, that's the biggest thing is like when you really, sorry guys, when you really believe and it stems down for when you really trust what you're doing, it does work.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing. What about you?
I think for me, it's been a reminder of the power of relationships and connections. Like after my wedding this summer, I got a huge like hit of that. Like I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe how lucky I am to have such an amazing community. And of course, when you have a big event like that, you're going to feel that way. But I've been feeling like that again recently with working with you and like me, you and Dave working together and all of these guests that have been coming on and everybody who's been showing interest in getting to know us and partnering with us, coming on the podcast. Like it's been so much fun and it's been like eye-opening to just how many people are so open to connecting. And even like our Vancouver network.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've lived here for like 4 years and I feel like there's just so many more people that I haven't connected with and that I haven't made an effort to connect with. Like I've stayed in my small little circle and now I feel like that's just growing so much through all these awesome people that I'm meeting. And so yeah, just like the power of actually, like we were saying earlier, the power of actually taking action, taking initiative, reaching out, making those connections, and then seeing how amazing it is to watch my community grow. And yeah,
I love that. And that's like, it's funny. You kind of, when you get to a certain point in your life, you remember what it was all about. And I kind of have flashbacks of me being like a little baby 90s kid being like, do you want to hang out? And they're like, yeah, sure. Like things don't do that anymore. And I feel like I think our goal, one of the goals is just to bring that back, bring the 90s connections back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I feel like community's been like a big theme for us this entire time. I mean, that's why we named it Kindred Spirits, right?
Exactly.
Like, we want to meet like-minded people and grow a network.
Grow a network. And the best thing is like accepting all walks of life. Doesn't matter. As long as you have a good heart and want to be too good, then you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, you belong here.
You belong with us. I promise nothing to you yet. No, so I love that. And that's why we wanted to come on, because I think we are going to have so many exciting guests come on the podcast. We have really, really exciting projects coming to you guys. But it's important for Maddie and I to know, to always be here talking, making sure you guys, everyone knows that we're not perfect. We don't know what's going on. We're just trying our best.
Yeah. It's good to stay true to raw talk and your mission when you first started this on your own, like just being real.
Well, I gotta shout out to my first guest, Octavio. He was, he came on and it was such a funny thing. But, Raw Talk really did start on the beach of Barbados after really coming back to the roots of what was important. And that is just having conversations from the heart. That's what Kindred has grown into. And I believe Raw Talk was a stepping stone into something the best now. I got a best partner in crime, and we're going to hit the ground running. And yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Amazing.
Cool. Do you want to finish us off with our beautiful quote, because you have an elegant voice?
Yes. Okay, Melissa, let's ask you the question then.
Please.
The quote goes, to find a kindred spirit is to see your heart in the heart of a friend. How do you know when you've found a kindred spirit?
I think when you find a kindred spirit, it's when you feel like your four corners of your feet are solid when you're walking with that person. You're grounded, you're feeling good, you're feeling authentic. That's when you know your souls and spirits are like that.
Beautiful.
Okay, everyone, just let everyone know, please follow, like, share. We're here for you, and we have exciting guests coming this week, so follow along. Maddie, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.